Hello everyone, this is Björn Lava from Technical University Dortmund, giving you a brief introduction to the K4ninchen engine, which allows for a more intuitive understanding of hyperspace by playing a video game. When I say hyperspace, I talk about four spatial axes. On the upper right corner, you see what you basically would expect when thinking about hyperspace. This is a tesseract rotating around this plane. On the left corner, you see a 4D to 3D projection, and on the lower right corner, you see a double rainbow projection, which features 2 times a 3D to 2D projection. Let's talk about already existing games. One of my favorites is Miyagakure, which features a voxel-based playstyle, but only allows for a discrete rotation of 90 degrees. It's quite challenging, it's quite a beautiful game. I highly recommend check it out for the Nintendo DS. Another example of this playset would be Tetris, which also utilizes a voxel-based environment, but also only allows for rotations of 90 degrees. Anyhow, it is free to play and can even be played within a browser. There's only 12 levels, so if you like, you can just give it a quick run. A different approach on 4D gaming would be 4D Maze, which also has this voxel-based environment and also only allows for 90-degree rotation. But the projection style of the double rainbow projection features a complete different approach on how to visualize a hypergeometric space. As each screen, the upper and the lower screen, always shows a perfect 3D projection of a 3D space, which is defined by dropping one of the 4 dimensions for each of these visualizations. Also note that there exists a huge variety of 4D ports. For example, Chesseract, which is a 4D chess, or like seen here, Frag 4D, which is a 4D Tetris. You could have seen there quite a lot of games, so why bother making another game? So I want to make something different. In my game, the player is able to walk at any point and rotate around any point. And also, he will play as a first-person view, and therefore he can also explore objects by going closer to them or slicing them in different ways. And also required to write a master thesis about all of these things. K4ninchen renders 2 things, which one we will call the cut and the other one we'll call the projection. Well, the cut allows us to see how a lower dimensional world cuts a higher dimensional world. For example, here we have the 2-dimensional world being intersected by a 1-dimensional world. So the result will be a 1-dimensional world, like seen here. And if we have a 3-dimensional world intersected by a 2-dimensional world, we'll go into this 2-dimensional world. Same applies for a 4-dimensional world being intersected by a 3-dimensional world, resulting in a 3D cut object. Basically, imagine it like an object casting a shadow into your cut. So this is your cutting world in 1 dimension. So if something is left of this, it will be red. If it's right of that, it will be blue. You can also have the same in a 3D world, so something can be below or above it. We can also call it left and right. With a 4D world, these directions would be Anna and Kata, and also would result in us having a 3D projection of the higher dimensional world. And here you can actually see what that will look like in game. So here we have a hypersphere, which the gray part will be the cut. The player can physically interact with those cuts by walking against them, standing on top of them, or walking on them. Part here, the red one and the blue one are the projection. Well, this one represents that is Anna wards of our slice of the world, and this one is Kata wards of our world. And now let's jump to the game. So we're finally in the game. You see some tesseracts rotating around all over here, and some spheres crossing through our plane of sight. The game offers us a few things to do. There's a tutorial which you can walk through. You can have all the keys to control the game. It's quite a lot, but you'll get used to that. We can straight away start the game, or even pick one of the levels I've designed. Quite a few, but not so much. And in the next version, you may even get some options. Also, a friend of mine designed an add-on where you actually use projectiles to solve riddles. And you can even choose one of his levels directly here. So let's get the game started. The tutorial just gives you the basics, like standing. Okay. Now that went well. Next thing we have to learn is moving around. Put your fingers on the WASD keys and you can move. And so we already are able to stand and move. The next thing would be looking around. So by now, everything is normal and it plays exactly like a normal 3D platformer. You can even jump and so nothing that special. Now we come to the more complicated stuff. When I press M, I get a map. I can make the map opaque by pressing M again. I can move the map. Let's say I want to have it here. And if I hold the B key, I can rotate the map to my liking. I want to have it like this. One can also scale the map by pressing V and moving the mouse. And you see how the map moves. So right now, my forward direction is fixed all the time while the map moves. If I press C, now the map is fixed while my forward direction is moving. Note the green bar is a forward direction. If I press again, it is a little different, so the map stands actually in space. I can move around that. Well, I like things to have my forward direction moved and get the world rotating around that. Next thing to do would be actually rotating the slice. So we have to understand how this mini-map thing works. So it works by showing you the cutting plane of our worlds. So this is basically the world without the Z dimension. So gravitational axis is just missing. If I hold E and move my mouse cursor left ways, I can rotate it like this. Well, if I now rotate this way, you see I can see over here, and I can look up this direction. I can move the plane further here, and we'll see the object I'm standing on has now kind of a different shape. If I rotate it, now that way, I can get another cut of the world, and we'll see that there's a moving sphere. And well, let's see if we can actually manage it so it stays in our plane. Kinda does. No, it does not. Okay, so we finished the game here, and that's our tutorial. And the blinky lights tell us that we're done.